Start getting ready for warm-ups. Come to standing position. You start with vertical stretch, Tadasana. Keep your hands on your head, palms facing the sky. Breathing in, first raise the hands up, then try to come on your toes. Keep your eyes focused at one point, and then slowly breathing out. First bring the feet back on the ground, then slowly bring the hands down. Take a couple of breaths and then once again stretch the hands up, breathing in. Come on your toes, hold your breath. Then slowly bring the feet back on the ground, then bring the hands back on the head and relax. Take a couple of breaths. Last round, breathing in, raise the hands up, then come on your toes, hold your breath and hold your balance. When you want to breathe out, start breathing out. Bring your feet first to touch the ground, then bring your hands back to rest on your head. Then bring the hands from the side and relax. Now we'll do a sideways bend. So breathing in, bring both the hands up. Interlace them and keep them straight up. And then breathing out, bend laterally to the right side, keeping the hands straight. Then slowly breathing in, come back. And breathe out, laterally bend to the left side. And then slowly breathing in, come back. And then bring the hands down from the side. Take a couple of breaths and relax. Once again, breathing in, bring both the hands up, join them, interlace them, keep them together, hold your breath. Breathing out, laterally bend to the right side. Make sure you're not moving forward or backward, but you're maintaining a lateral bend. Slowly come back, breathing in. Hold your breath. Breathing out, laterally bend to the left side. Slowly come back. Hold your breath. Breathing out, bring the hands down from the side. Last round, lateral bend. Breathing in, raise the hands up, interlace them, hold your breath. Breathing out, laterally bend to the right side. Breathing in, slowly come back. Hold your breath. Breathing out, laterally bend to the left side. Slowly come back. Hold your breath. Breathing out, bring the hands from the side and relax. Now we will do a forward bend. For this, you will interlace the fingers at the back. And then keep some distance between your legs to maintain your balance. Take a deep breath in and start bending forward, raising the hands up. Bring your head as close to your knees as you are comfortable. Breathing in, come back. Hands go back to the starting position. Catch your breath. Once again, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bend forward. Hold your breath. Breathing in, come back and relax. Once again, catch your breath. Last round. Release and relax. Now we'll do spinal twist, Kati Chakrasana. So breathing in, bring the hands at the shoulder level, hold your breath. Breathing out, rotate to the right side, right hand from behind, left hand on the right shoulder. Turn as much as you can to the right side. Then breathing in, come back, hands at the shoulder level, hold your breath. Breathing out, rotate to the left side, right hand on the left shoulder, left hand from behind the waist. Turn as much as you can to your left side. And then slowly come back, breathing in, hands at the shoulder level. Hold your breath. Breathing out, very slowly, bring your hands back. Catch your breath. Last round, start. Can practice one more last round. And then you will sit down. Once you've completed the round, sit down in any meditative asana and practice Kapalbhati. And after Kapalbhati, be in yogic breathing. Till we start the class. Get ready to chant mantra Om 7 times. Make your sankalpa. I am chanting Om, creating protective energy field around me that keeps me protected from all external negative influences, antibodies, and viruses. I am creating 3 layers of protection. On my outermost layer, I have 6 friendly creatures: an elephant behind me, a peacock in front, a tiger on my right side, a lion on my left side, an eagle above my head, and a black tortoise below me. Inside of that, I have a big ring with balls of fire. I am lighting all the balls, allowing a firewall of protection to go up around me. The 3rd layer of protection comes from the subtle energy of the mantra Om that I am chanting. Take your awareness to Muladhara Chakra at the perineum, 4-petal lotus, red in color. Take a deep breath in for chanting Om. Shift your awareness to Swadhisthana Chakra at the spinal terminus, the coccyx bone, 6-petal lotus, orange color. Increase your pitch a little bit, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to Manipura Chakra behind your navel, 10-petal lotus, yellow color. Increase pitch further, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to Anahata Chakra behind your heart center, 12-petal lotus, green color. Increase pitch further, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to Vishuddhi Chakra behind your throat pit, 16-petal lotus, blue color. Increase pitch further, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to Apya Chakra behind your eyebrow center, 2-petal lotus, indigo color. Increase pitch further, take a deep breath. Shift your awareness to Sahasrara Chakra, center of the top of your head, 1,000-petal lotus, white color. Increase your pitch further, take a deep breath. Shanti mantras. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunatu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinamaditamastु Ma Vidishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Keep your hands in Linga Mudra. Make your sankalpa. I am chanting Mahamrityunjaya mantra for physical health and mental well-being. Chanting the mantra every day helps me maintain the best of health, mentally and physically. All my brain cells and my body cells are operating optimally and in harmony with each other. I can feel your grace, my Lord, penetrating deep into my body, energizing each and every brain cell and body cell, keeping me in pristine health at all times. I bow down before you, thanking you from the bottom of my heart for keeping me in pristine health, and I promise to put in efforts from my side for keeping my body in a healthy condition, befitting for you to reside inside my body in your effulgent form. Get ready. Om Triyambakam Yajamage Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam Yajamage Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triyambakam Yajamage Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Slowly disengage your hands. Keep them in Padma Mudra. Right palm on top of the left palm. Keep the hand in the center, facing them on the foot. And keep your body straight. Just start becoming conscious of the parts of the body that are touching the ground. Start with your glutes. Which thigh is touching the ground? Out of the two, only one. Unless you are sitting in Padmasana, in which case both the thighs will touch. Which of the two knees is touching the ground? If you are in Padmasana, both of them will be touching. If you are just sitting cross-legged, which leg have you kept on top? Which leg have you kept on the bottom? This is your habitual pattern of sitting. Can you reverse this just now? Without opening your eyes, whichever leg is on top, let it go behind or at the bottom. Let the other leg come on top. And see what this makes you feel. Do you feel odd? Do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel something is unfamiliar? Just become aware. And let the body slowly get used to this non-habitual way of sitting. And today, you're going to try and do your meditation in this non-habitual way of sitting. So bring your attention to the tip of your nose And just become conscious and aware of your breathing in when the breath is touching your nostrils, and tell yourself, I am breathing in. Hold your breath inside. Be aware that you are holding your breath. Say to yourself, I'm spreading energy throughout the body. As you breathe out, say to yourself, I'm breathing out, and observe the breath touching or brushing against the tip of your nostrils as it exits. Then keep your breath outside. Feel your whole body is purified, energized, and rejuvenated. Do this 2-3 more times. Now slowly bring your attention to the space in front of your forehead, the Chitakash. Just become a passive observer of whatever images, thoughts, whatever comes up. Nothing may come up. It may look like a blank, dark screen. Just become aware that you are staring at the dark, blank screen. If images come up, recognize them, let them float past. Don't interfere with them. You are a standby passive observer, allowing the subconscious to throw up the images. Now slowly give up all this awareness. Once again, become aware of your breath. Gently rub your hands. Keep them on your eyes. And slowly release and relax. So we are on lesson 21. Basically, there are 3 things in this lesson. One is becoming aware of your Manipura chakra. Second is stage 2 of Ajapa Japa meditation. And 3, there is only one asana that is introduced, and that is Shirasasana. There's a wonderful exposition, description in the book about the benefits of Shirasasana. Basically, it talks about increasing the blood supply to your head, and it activates and energizes 2 important glands, part of the endocrine system in the brain, which is the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. The pineal gland is linked to your Ajna chakra and is generally considered as a gateway to super consciousness. When your pineal gland is active, functions well, and you practice activation of Ajna Chakra, you can possibly start increasing your own intuitive capacities. Pituitary plays a very important role in receiving sensory inputs, deciding what should be the messages going out, which kind of chemicals must be released by the various other endocrine glands. Therefore, a very good functioning of the pituitary gland is very important for overall health. And if the pituitary gland stops doing its function, then you can have serious health issues. And because you're basically in an inverted position, the blood flow to the head increases substantially and it benefits both these glands in a big way. Now, the Shirasasana practice is explained in 3 stages, out of which stage 1 and stage 2 can be practiced by everybody. Stage 3, I would recommend that you first try it out on your own later on when you can be against the wall. Because when you lift both the legs up, there is always a chance that you will overbalance and you may fall on the other side, which is very risky because it can sprain your neck very dangerously. If you fall back, when you're lifting the leg and you fall back on the same side, allowing your toes to come back onto the ground, then it is much less risky. So when you are against the wall, when you raise the leg, in case you lose the balance, at least the leg will go and hit the wall and you're still in that inverted position. And when you can hit the wall and hold your position for a few days, then slowly go into that position, slightly move the legs a little away from the wall and see if you can maintain your balance. And when you practice like this, slowly, you will be able to reach a level where you can actually practice Shirasasana anywhere in the room without any support anywhere. We will take you through the practice. It may be a good idea to have some kind of a support for your head, like a blanket on which you can keep your head. But for stage 1 and 2, if you don't do that, it's okay. But for stage 3, it is recommended. So we'll first try stage 1, stage 2, and then I will demonstrate stage 3. You just watch and then you can practice on your own later. So you come into this position, Vajrasana, raise yourself a little up, first watch and then we will do it. So in this position, you'll first bring your hands, interlace them, keep them on the ground. And then both the forehand will come on the ground and try and make sure that you're positioning your hands in such a way that this forms an equilateral triangle. And once you've got this position, then you will slowly bring your head to rest against that hand. The hand is only giving a support so that the head won't move from there. And once you are, yeah.
So
somebody, yeah.
Sir, I cannot see your hand.
You can't see the hand. I'm a little constrained today. My TV is not working. I mean, my HDMI cable is not working. So I also can't see properly. So I've ordered the cable. Cable should come today from next class. Should be okay. Can you see it now? So this is how you keep it. And then you bring the head down. The top of the head is on the mat. And once you have kept the head properly and the hand is supporting the head so that the head will not slip out, then you slowly raise your legs. This is the second position. So this is stage 1. In this position, when you come to stage 2, we say you get partial benefits of Shirasasana. Okay? So these two are the practices that everybody can do. And once you are in this position, let me show it from the other side. Then you slowly start walking, and the body has to become properly vertical. And when you come completely vertical, you bring like this, then you slowly raise up. When you come down slowly, and then keep your head rested for some time in this position. When the blood flow becomes normal, breathing becomes normal, only then slowly lift your head up. So let us start practicing stage 1 and 2. Stage 3, you will practice against the wall on your own later on. So keep your hands on the ground. Make sure that your hands is forming an equilateral triangle between the palms. Then slowly bring your head to touch the ground. And once your head is completely rested on the ground, slowly lift your legs up and be in that inverted position. If any of you have a wall support, then try to go up. You can practice this 3-4 times so that the blood flow to the head increases. First, keep your hands down, then the head. If you're against the wall, then try to push your legs a little faster so that you can come up quickly. Even if you come up a little bit, it is okay. It takes a little bit of time for Shirsasana to become perfect. You also be ready to fall down a couple of. Yeah?
It has to be on the hands.
No, the hand is outside the head. Let me show it a little closer to the camera so that you can see it properly. This is how the hand is, and the head comes in front of the hand. So the hand only becomes a support so that the head won't slip behind. So it just holds the head in place. Like this. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Walk closer to the body so that the legs may slightly come up. All of us have fallen quite a number of times trying to get Shirsasana. So that is not unusual. And then come back to relax. So you can also get partial benefits of Shirasasana in one of the Shashank Asana variation. So we'll experiment with that just now. So for this, when you sit in Vajrasana, you'll keep the hands behind you. And then you will take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, you will bring your head down to rest on the floor. Then you will lift the legs up, the thighs. This also gives you partial benefits of Shirsasana. So try this. Shashankrasana variation. First in Vajrasana, keep the hands behind and then bring your head down. Top of the head touches the ground. Then raise your eyes up. And then slowly come back by lowering the legs. Then breathing in, bring the head up. So second round, get ready. I'll give you instructions. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bend the head down, top of the head on the ground. Hold your breath, lift your legs up. Breathing in, bend your legs back. Head is still on the ground. Breathing in, lift your head up. Last round on your own, breathing out, bring the head down. When you complete your round, stretch your legs and relax.
This and Sarvangasana are the same.
Sarvangasana, to some extent, yes, same. That also gives you partial benefits of Shirsasana, correct?
In that also you have to ideally lift the whole body up on the neck.
Yes, it gives you. In fact, when we come to the Kriya Yoga portion, we will actually do a meditation in Sarvangasana, where you actually feel the hot nectar flowing down from Manipura to Vishuddhi, then it cools down, and then you inject it through Agnya Chakra, Bindu and Sahasrara. So you have to hold Sarvangasana for a longer time. So obviously we'll start with 2-3 rounds and then slowly increase it. You have to go up to 12 rounds of this practice of meditation in Kriya Yoga. So Sarvangasana, I think, is the second or the third practice in Kriya Yoga. So we'll be doing that. So at that time, you can appreciate that it has the benefits of Shirsasana partially. You invert it and the blood flows towards the head. But there is one subtle difference, and that is in Sarvangasana, there is a slight bending of the neck. So there is a slight constriction on the flow to the head. Whereas in Shirsasana, it flows directly. So that subtle difference is there between the two. All right.
The breath flows from the toes to the head.
Yeah, that is fine. But what happens is the blood flows, but it doesn't flow as smoothly as in Shirsasana because the throat comes like this. So there's a slight constriction in that. There is still a flow, but it is not the same as in Shivasana, or where you don't bend. Like in Shashankasana, this practice, you don't bend the neck down. So the flow is more direct. That's the only difference between Sarvangasana and these practices. So now we'll go to Manipura Chakra awareness. First and the foremost is one portion of Manipura Chakra awareness is your Udyan Bandha. So when you pull your stomach inside, focus your attention on your navel. So take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, bend your chin down, Jalandhar Bandha. Pull your perineum up, Moola Bandha, and then pull your abdomen in, Udyan Bandha. And when you're pulling the abdomen in, pay full attention at the navel region. Then breathing in, come back by releasing. First of all, let me rephrase my instruction. You first release Moola Bandha, you first release Udyan Bandha, then release Moola Bandha, then release Jalandhar Bandha, then breathe in. So once again, take a deep breath in, breathe out completely, Jalandhar Bandha, Moola Bandha, Udyan Bandha. Full focus at Manipura Chakra and the navel. Release Udyan, release Mool, release Jalandhar, breathe in. Once again, breathe out. Jalandhar, Mool, Udyan. Full focus on the navel, Manipura Chakra. Breathing in, first release Udyan, release Mool, release Jalandhar, then breathe in. Don't start breathing in till you release Jalandhar Bandha. 3 more rounds on your own. 1, when you have completed the last round, stretch your legs and relax. Now we'll practice meditational practice for Manipura Chakra. So you're going to be, the Manipura Chakra Kshetram is the navel. Directly behind the navel, inside your spinal cord, is Manipura Chakra. This is a center of energy. You can actually generate heat in the body by focusing and breathing in Manipura Chakra. So now what you're going to do is, when you breathe in, you're going to imagine that the breath is entering the navel, going straight behind and touching the Manipura Chakra. Feel the Manipura Chakra vibrating. Even if you can't sense it, just imagine it is vibrating with full energy. As you breathe out, the breath will be released straight from Manipura Chakra, out from the navel, and it will go out. So be in this awareness of the movement of breath. Focus complete attention on Manipura Chakra. Mentally chant the mantra Ram. Ram. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. Start. Complete the last round and stop. Now we're going to practice a japa japa stage 2. The only difference between stage 1 and stage 2 is that in stage 1, when we started with chanting the mantra so while breathing in and chanting the mantra hum when we are breathing out. Now we're going to reverse this. We'll start with breathing out, chanting the mantra hum, and while breathing in, we will chant the mantra so. There's one very subtle changing instruction in this, and that is, you will of course start from the throat pit. You'll chant when you're breathing out, the mantra hum will start, and the breath will come down to your navel. Immediately start chanting so, and the breath will come up to the throat pit. Here you hold for a very brief second, and then again start chanting hum, so, hum, so, hum, so. So after you complete the breathing in, the cycle is complete of breathing out and breathing in. Hold for a brief second. Be aware of that holding for a brief second. And then continue to breathe out hum so. So you'll be chanting hum so, hum so, hum so as you breathe in. And to help you imagine the visualization of this breath going from the throat pit down to the navel and back. Imagine in your spinal cord, inside the spinal cord, there is a transparent glass tube. In that glass tube, you imagine whatever colored water that you can imagine. And as you're breathing out, visualize that colored water is going down. As you're breathing in, the colored water is getting pumped back. So this will help you hold your attention. And if your mind has wandered somewhere, bring it back to this attention of hum so. Get ready. Start focusing from the throat pit. Hum so. Hum so. Hum so. Continue. Watch your mind. As it wandered somewhere, bring it back to the focus of your breathing hum so. Now stop your practice. There are two more things that you need to add into this practice. These are basically Ujjayi Pranayam and Kechari Mudra. So now you'll be practicing the full practice in incorporating Kechari Mudra and Ujjayi Pranayam. Now, Ujjayi Pranayam is when you breathe in, you constrict the glottis and you make a hissing sound when you're breathing in. And Kechari is you roll the tongue inside, the tip of the tongue will touch somewhere at the upper palate deep inside, and keep it in that position and continue the practice so long as you can keep the tongue there. When you want to release the tongue, then slowly end whichever cycle you are doing, release the tongue, take some rest, then put the tongue back and restart till I tell you to finally close. Start. You can keep your hands in Padma Mudra, roll your tongue backwards, make a hissing sound when you're breathing out, and then breathing in, mentally chanting So. Slowly complete the round. End your practice, stretch your legs a little bit. And then slowly lie on your back in Shavasana. Let the body sink into the ground. Hands by the side of your body, palms facing the sky. Your foot in whichever way you are comfortable. And become aware as to how your foot is. Is the foot flopped on the sides, touching the floor? Or is the toes raised away from the floor? What is the angle of the foot? Can you feel whether the angle of the foot is symmetrical on the right side and the left side? If there is a difference, just mentally note the difference and let it be that way. Then slowly focus your attention on your right foot. Feel any sensation you can feel on the right foot. And let the right foot relax completely. Then relax your ankle of the right foot. Relax the heels of the right foot. Shift your attention to the left foot. Relax the left ankle, left heel. Relax the entire left foot. And see if you can feel the pulse beating at the left foot. Shift your attention to the right foreleg from the knees up to the ankle. And see if you can feel the pulse there. Can you sense how exactly the calf muscle is touching the ground? Do you feel your calf muscle is completely relaxed? If you can sense any tension, sensation there, release it. When you focus your attention on your right calf muscles in the right lower leg, does it bring or trigger any emotions, past incidences, any happenings in your life? Allow it to surface, recognize it, and let it pass. Repeat the same on your left leg, left lower leg from the knees up to the ankle. Experience how it is touching the ground. Can you feel the pulse? Does it trigger any emotions, any thoughts, any instances, incidences? Does it trigger any sense of fear, uncertainty? Just recognize it, bringing it up from the subconscious to the conscious mind, and then let it go. Then shift your attention to the right knee, only the knee. Is the top of the knee relaxed? Is the patella relaxed? Just pull your kneecap up a little bit, couple of times, and release it. As you pull it up, be aware of the contraction of the pulling in. As you release, be aware of the relaxation of the patella. Can you sense which hamstring muscles are helping you pull the kneecap up? Can you feel those muscular movements? Pay attention. Now bring your attention to the back of the knees. Can you feel it touch the ground, or how far is it raised from the ground? Then mentally relax your right knee completely and see if you can experience a sense of pulse in the right knee. Then shift your complete attention to your left knee. Repeat the whole process on the left knee. Pull the kneecap a couple of times. And as you release, feel the relaxation of the kneecap and the patella. Sense the back of the knees and the gap between the ground and the back of the knees. Can you feel the pulse there? Then shift your attention to your right thigh. Can you experience the right thigh? Can you feel the pulse on the right thigh? As you pay full attention only to the right thigh, to the exclusion of every other part of the body, does it connect you to any emotions, instances, fear, incidences? Just let them surface, don't stop them. Shift your attention to your left knee. Repeat the same process. Then shift your attention to the right hip joint. Can you feel the ball and socket joint? Relax your hip joint completely. Do the same for the left. And then shift your attention to the right glute. Once again, experience how it is pressing against the ground and let it relax completely. And as you focus your attention only on your right glute, see if any emotions are surfing up. Let them come up and observe them and let it go. Become aware of them, let it go. Do the same for the left glute. Then pay attention to your vertebrae. Spinal vertebrae start from the coccyx. Sense it touching the ground. Relax the coccyx. Sense your lumbar vertebrae, L5, L4, L3, L2, L1. Sense all of them and see which ones are touching the ground, which ones are not. Relax all of them mentally. Then repeat the same for the 12 thoracic vertebrae. Start from T12, go one by one. T12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one. Let the whole back sink into the ground in complete state of relaxation. Allow it to sink in. And as you focus on your back, let emotions surface, if there are any that comes up. Recognize them and let them go. Do the same with your shoulders. Right shoulder first. Let it sink into the ground. Then the left shoulder. And now surrender the entire body to the floor completely. Let a complete sense of peace pervade your entire self. You are at peace with yourself, with the environment, with the external circumstances. A sense of serene bliss is pervading your entire self. Now slowly become aware of your body and the posture in which you're lying. Slowly bend your fingers, then bend your hands at the elbow, then bend your legs, then take your hands over your head, stretch the whole body completely, and then turn to one side slowly and sit up. Get ready to chant mantra Om 3 times. Make your sankalpa. I'm chanting Om, creating protective energy field around me that keeps me protected from all external negative influences and antibodies and viruses. Take a deep breath in for Om mantra. Shanti mantras. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, sarvesham swastir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Trayambakam Vijamage Sugandhim Pushtivarnam Urvarkamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Rub your hands nicely when you're warm, then keep them on your eyes. Feel the warmth flowing in from the palm into the eyes. Gently open the eyes, be conscious of colors you see when you open the eyes. And slowly release your hands. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. So have a great weekend. We'll be back with some lower extremity somatic practices on Monday. And since we have only one asana in this lesson, from next class onwards, we'll directly practice the entire 21, lesson 21, divided into two parts. Each part will have some asana, some meditation. In the next class, some remaining asanas and remaining meditation. So we'll combine both, all the practices from Surya Namaskar onwards from the next class. All right? So, bye.